Well, welcome back to Yehusha's Glory. We're on chapter 29 in the Seir, book of Jasher. Chapter 29, Jasher, page 350. We'll start right here. And Isaac, the son of Abraham, became old and advanced in days, and his eyes became heavy through age, that they were dim and could not see. And that at that time Isaac called unto Esau his son, saying, Get, I pray you, your weapons, your quiver and your bow. Rise up and go forth into the field, and get me some venison, and make me savory meat, and bring it to me that I may eat, in order that I may bless you before my death, as I have now become old and gray-headed. And Esau did so. Took his weapon, went forth into the field to hunt for venison, as usual, to bring to his father, as he had ordered him, so that he might bless him. And Rivkah heard all the words that Isaac had spoken unto Esau. And she hastened and called her son Jacob, saying, Thus did your father speak unto your brother Esau, and thus did I hear. Now therefore hasten you, and make that which I shall tell you. Rise up and go, I pray you, to the flock, and fetch me 2 fine kids of the goats, and I will get the savory meat for your father, and you shall bring the savory meat, that he may eat before your brother shall have come from the chase, in order that your father may bless you. And Jacob hastened, and did as his mother had commanded him, and he made the savory meat, and brought it before his father, before Esau had come from his chase. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Who are you, my son? And he said, I am your firstborn, Esau. I have done as you did order me. Now therefore rise up, I pray you, and eat of my hunt, in order that your soul may bless me, as you did speak unto me. And Isaac rose up, and he ate, and he drank, and his heart was comforted. And he blessed Jacob, and Jacob went away from his father. And as soon as Isaac had blessed Jacob, and he had gone away from him, behold, Esau came home from his hunt from the field, and he also made savory meat, and brought it to his father to eat thereof, and to bless him. And Isaac said unto Esau, And who was he that had taken venison, and brought it me before you came, and whom I did bless? And Esau knew that his brother Jacob had done this, and the anger of Esau was kindled against his brother Jacob, and he had acted thus toward him. And Esau said, Is he not rightly called Jacob? For he has supplanted me twice. He took away my birthright, and now he has taken away my blessing. And Esau wept greatly. And when Isaac heard the voice of his son Esau weeping, Isaac said unto Esau, What can I do, my son? Your brother came with subtlety, and took away your blessing. And Esau hated his brother Jacob on account of the blessing that his father had given him, and his anger was greatly roused against him. Jacob was very much afraid of his brother Esau, and he rose up and fled to the house of Eber, the son of Shem. And he concealed himself there on account of his brother. And Jacob was 63 years old when he went forth from the land of Canaan, from Chevron. And Jacob was concealed in Eber's house 14 years on account of his brother Esau. And he there continued to learn the ways of Yehusha and his commandments. And when Esau saw that Jacob had fled and escaped from him, and that Jacob had cunningly obtained the blessing, then Esau grieved exceedingly, and he also vexed at his father and mother, to the land. Oh, excuse me, everyone. So when he found out that he had cunningly obtained the blessing that Esau was supposed to get, Esau grieved exceedingly, and he was also vexed at his father and mother. And he also rose up and took his woman and went away from his father and mother to the land of Seir, and he dwelt there. And Esau saw there a woman from amongst the daughters of Cheth, whose name was Basmath, the daughter of Elon and Chittim, and he took her for a woman in addition to his first woman, and Esau called her name Adah, saying, the blessing had in that time passed from him. And Esau dwelt in the land of Seir 6 months without seeing his father and mother. And afterward Esau took his women and rose up and returned to the land of Canaan. And Esau placed his 2 women in his father's house in Chevron. And the women of Esau vexed and provoked Isaac and Rivkah with their works. For they walked not in the ways of Yahuwah, but served their fathers Elohim of wood and stone, as their father had taught them. And they were more wicked than their father, and they went according to the evil desires of their hearts, and they sacrificed and burnt incense to the Baalim. And Isaac and Rivkah became weary of them. And Rivkah said, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Cheth. If Yaakov take a woman of the daughters of Cheth, such as these, which are the daughters of the land, what good then is life unto me? And in those days Adah, the woman of Esau, conceived and bore him a son, and Esau called the name of the son that was born unto him Eliphaz. And Esau was 65 years old when she bore him. Esau was 65 years old when she bore him. And Ishmael, the son of Abraham, died in those days, in the 64th year of the life of Yaakov. And all the days that Ishmael lived were 137 years, and he died. And when Isaac heard that Ishmael was dead, he mourned for him, and Isaac lamented over him many days. And at the end of 14 years of Yaakov's residing in the house of Eber, Yaakov desired to see his father and mother, and Yaakov came to the house of his father and mother to Chevron, and Esau had, in those days, forgotten what Yaakov had done to him in having taken the blessing from him in those days. And when Esau saw Yaakov coming to his father and mother, he remembered what Yaakov had done to him, and he was greatly incensed against him, and he sought to slay him. And Yitzhak, the son of Abraham, was old and advanced in days, and Esau said, Now my father's time is drawing nigh that he must die, and when he shall die I will slay my brother Yaakov. And this was told to Rivkah, and she hastened and sent and called for Yaakov her son, and she said unto him, Arise, go and flee to Haran to my brother Laban, and remain there for some time until your brother's anger has turned from you, and then shall you come back. And Yitzhak called unto Yaakov, and said unto him, Take not a woman from the daughters of Canaan, for thus did our father Abraham command us, according to the word of Yahuwah, which he had commanded him, saying, Unto your seed will I give this land, if your children guard my covenant that I have made with you. Then I will also perform to your children that which I have spoken unto you, and I will not forsake them. Now therefore, my son, hearken to my voice, to you all I have commanded, all that I shall command you, and refrain from taking a woman from amongst the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Haran in the house of Bethuel your mother's father, and take unto you a woman from there, from the daughters of Laban your mother's brother. Therefore take heed, lest you should forget Yahuwah Elohiku, and all his ways in the land to which you go, and should get connected with the people of the land, and pursue vanity, and forsake Yahuwah Elohiku. But when you come to the land, serve there Yahuwah. Do not turn to the right or to the left from the way which I commanded you, and which you did learn. And may El Shaddai grant you favor in the sight of the people of the earth, that you may take there a woman according to your choice, one who is good and upright in the ways of Yahuwah, and may Elohim give unto you and your seed the blessing of your father Abraham, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, and may you become a multitude of people in the land whither you go, and may Elohim cause you to return to this land, the land of your father's dwelling, with children, and with great riches, with joy, and with pleasure. And Isaac finished commanding Yaakov and blessing him, and he gave him many gifts together with silver and gold, and he sent him away. And Yaakov hearkened to his father and mother. He kissed them and arose and went to Paddan Aram. And Yaakov was 70 years old when he went out from the land of Canaan, from Beersheba. And when Yaakov went away to Haran, Esau called unto his son Eliphaz, and secretly spoke unto him, saying, Now hasten, take your sword in your hand, and pursue Yaakov, and pass before him in the road, and lurk for him, and slay him with your sword in one of the mountains, and take all belonging to him, and come back. And Eliphaz, the son of Esau, was an active man, an expert with the bow, as his father had taught him. And he was a noted hunter in the field, and a valiant man. And Eliphaz did as his father had commanded him, and Eliphaz was at that time 13 years old. And Eliphaz rose up and went and took 10 of his mother's brothers with him, and pursued Yaakov. And he closely followed Yaakov, and he lurked for him in the border of the land at Canaan, opposite to the city of Shechem. And Yaakov saw Eliphaz and his men pursuing him, and Yaakov stood still in the place in which he was going, in order to know what this was, for he did not know the thing. And Eliphaz drew his sword and he went on advancing, he and his men, toward Yaakov. And Yaakov said unto them, What is to do with you that you have come hither? And what does it mean that you pursue with your swords? And Eliphaz came near to Yaakov, and he answered and said unto him, Thus did my father command me, and now therefore I will not deviate from the orders which my father gave me. And when Yaakov saw that Esau had spoken to Eliphaz to employ force, Yaakov then approached and supplicated Eliphaz and his men, saying to him, Behold, all that I have, and which my father and mother gave unto me, that take unto you, and go from me, and do not slay me. And may this thing be accounted unto you a righteousness. And Yahuwah caused Yaakov to find favor in the sight of Eliphaz, the son of Esau, and his men, and they hearkened to the voice of Yaakov, and they did not put him to death. And Eliphaz and his men took all belonging to Yaakov, together with the silver and the gold that he had brought with him from Beersheba. They left him nothing. And Eliphaz and his men went away from him and returned to Esau to Beersheba. And they told him all that had occurred to them with Yaakov, and they gave him all that they had taken from Yaakov. And Esau was indignant at Eliphaz his son, and at his men that were with him, because they had not put Yaakov to death. And they answered and said unto Esau, Because Yaakov supplicated us in this matter not to slay him, our pity was excited toward him, and we took all belonging to him, and brought it unto you. And Esau took all the silver and gold which Eliphaz had taken from Yaakov, and he put them by in his house. At that time, when Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Yaakov, and had commanded him, saying, You shall not take a woman from amongst the daughters of Canaan, and that the daughters of Canaan were bad in the sight of Isaac and Rivkah, then he went to the house of Ishmael, his uncle, and in addition to his other women, he took Machlath, the daughter of Ishmael, the sister of Nebaioth, for a woman. And in the future it says, when he arrives at Mount Moriah, Yahuwah appears to Yaakov and establishes his covenant with him. Arriving at his uncle's house, he engages to serve 7 years for Rachel. I think we can keep going here. Chapter 30, page 352. And Yaakov went forth, continuing his road to Haran, and he came as far as Mount Moriah, and he tarried there all night near the city of Luz. And Yahuwah appeared there until Jacob on that night. And he said unto him, I am Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham, and the Elohim of Isaac your father. The land upon which you lie, I will give unto you and your seed. And behold, I am with you, and will guard you wherever you go, and I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and I will cause all your enemies to fall before you, and when they shall make war with you, they shall not prevail over you. And I will bring you again unto this land with joy, with children, and with great riches. And Jacob awoke from his sleep, and he rejoiced greatly at the visions which he had seen, and he called the name of that place Bethel. And Jacob arose up from that place, quite rejoiced. And when he walked, his feet felt light to him for joy. And he went from there to the land of the children of the east. And he returned to Haran, and he sat by the shepherd's well. And he there found some men going from Haran to feed their flocks. And Jacob made inquiries of them. And they said, We are from Haran. And he said unto them, Do you know Laban, the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him, and we behold, his daughter Rachel is coming along to feed her father's flock. While he was yet speaking with them, Rachel, the daughter of Laban, came to feed her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. And when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, he ran and kissed her, and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was the son of Rivkah, her father's sister. And Rachel ran and told her father, and Jacob continued to cry, because he had nothing with him to bring to the house of Laban. And when Laban heard that his sister's son Jacob had come, he ran and kissed him and embraced him, and brought him into the house and gave him bread, and he ate. And Jacob related to Laban what his brother Esau had done to him, and what his son Eliphaz had done to him in the road. And Jacob resided in Laban's house for 1 month. Jacob ate and drank in the house of Laban. And afterward Laban said unto Jacob, Tell me what shall be your wages, for how can you serve me for naught? And Laban had no sons, but only daughters, and his other women and handmaids were still barren in those days. And these are the names of Laban's daughters, which his woman Adinah had borne unto him. The names of the elder was Leah, the name of the younger was Rachel, and Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved her. And Jacob said unto Laban, I will serve you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter. And Laban consented to this, and Jacob served Laban 7 years for his daughter Rachel. And in the 2nd year of Jacob's dwelling in Haran, that is in the 79th year of the life of Jacob, in that year died Eber, the son of Shem. He was 464 years old at his death. And when Jacob heard that Eber was dead, he grieved exceedingly, and he lamented and mourned over him many days. And in the 3rd year of Jacob's dwelling in Haran, Basmath, the daughter of Ishmael, the woman of Esau, bore unto him a son, and Esau called his name Reuel. And in the 4th year of Jacob's residence in the house of Laban, Yahuwah visited Laban, remembering him on account of Jacob, and sons were born unto him. And his firstborn was Beor, his second was Aliv, his third was Korash. And Yahuwah gave Laban riches and honor, sons, daughters, and the man increased greatly on account of Jacob. And Jacob in those days served Laban in all manners of work, in the house and in the field, and the blessing of Yahuwah was in all that belonged to Laban, in the house and in the field. And in the 5th year died Yehudith, the daughter of Beri, the woman of Esau, in the land of Canaan. And she had no sons, but daughters only. And these are the names of her daughters, which she bore to Esau. The name of the elder was Marzith. The name of the younger was Puith. And when Yehudith died, Esau rose up and went to Seir to hunt in the field as usual, and Esau dwelt in the land of Seir for a long time. And in the 6th year, Esau took for a woman, in addition to his other women, Oholibamah, the daughter of Sivon, and Shivai. And Esau brought her to the land of Canaan, and Oholibamah conceived and bore unto Esau 3 sons, Yeush, Yaalan, and Korach. And in those days, in the land of Canaan, there was a quarrel between the herdsmen of Esau and the herdsmen of the inhabitants of the land of Canaan, for Esau's cattle and goods were too abundant for him to remain in the land of Canaan in his father's house. And the land of Canaan could not bear him on account of his cattle. When Esau saw that his quarreling increased with the inhabitants of the land of Canaan, he rose up and took his women and his sons and his daughters and all belonging to him in the cattle which he possessed, and all his property that he had acquired in the land of Canaan. And he went away from the inhabitants of the land to the land of Seir, and Esau and all belonging to him dwelt in the land of Seir. But from time to time Esau would go and see his father and mother in the land of Canaan. And Esau intermarried with the Kurim, and he gave his daughters to the sons of Seir the Kuri. And he gave his elder daughter Marzith to Anna, the son of Sivon, his woman's brother. And Puith he gave to Azar, the son of Bilhan the Kuri. And Esau dwelt in the mountains, he and his children, and they were fruitful and multiplied. Now coming into the future, Jacob is deceived and is given Leah in place of Rachel, but it is given Rachel for 7 years more service, so he has more service to do to keep her. Jacob serves Laban 6 years longer for wages and becomes very rich when Yehusha appears to him and commands him to return to the land of Canaan. Jacob obeys and goes from Laban. Rachel steals her father's Elohim, that he may not know where Jacob has fled. Laban pursues him, but establishes a covenant of peace. Laban breaks his commandment by sending his son secretly to Esau, that Jacob may fall in his hands. Esau, with 400 men, seek to destroy Jacob. So there's some exciting stuff coming up. That's going to be pretty neat. We got page 354 on the book of Jasher. We're going to start back next time on chapter 31. Let me write in here so I know where to start at. That's going to be kind of exciting. Well, I want to thank you all for coming and doing this with me and listening. Again, like I said, I've said this before. Some of this stuff gets a little bit wordy and long-winded, and it's difficult to sit and just listen. If you start to have your attention span kind of float away, and it just sounds like my voice is kind of trailing in the background and just making noise, hit stop, hit pause. Write down the time of the audio on the YouTube here. There's no pictures. You don't have to sit glued to the screen. Hit pause and write down the time so that you can come back to it. Because what happens with this is it gets kind of boring, and then all of a sudden something will happen, and there's a really brilliant lesson from our Father Yahuwah. And these are the little gems that are hidden in there that I want you to get. Now, I am reading every single word out of the book because I don't want you to miss anything. But some of that stuff just does not add up as something you need to know right this second. Like when it goes and talks about 50 different names of 50 children, whose names I really don't even pronounce very well. So it's important that it's being documented so that I'm not leaving anything out, because that's what I said I would do. But at the same time, those are the moments where your ear is going to get tired of hearing my voice, and you're going to say, well, this is getting kind of... Your mind's going to wander onto something else. That's when you want to hit pause, write down the time, and come back to it, and try to only come back when you're ready to hear it. If you're not going to pay attention seriously, just hit stop. Some of this stuff is so important that you hear in these stories, some of these lessons and these happenings, they sneak in there and they just come up all of a sudden. And if you fast forward through the video, you'll miss them. So I really think it's important that you listen to every bit of it. Father wants you to listen to it, or he wouldn't have me doing this, I suppose. And I'll tell you what, this is some of the neatest stuff that I've ever gotten to do. I'm sure glad that I get to share this with you. I hope you're getting a lot of it. I I'm just now reading it for the first time. I want to thank you all for being here. Next time we get back together, it'll be page 354, chapter 31. We're going to pick up in Jasher. And we have about, I looked at the pages. I know I said about 70 pages like 3 teachings ago, but this looks like it goes to page 467. And from 350, that's like 100. We got over 100 pages, so we got some reading to do. So there's going to be a whole lot more coming your way. Well, Father Yahuwah, bless all of us, take care of us. Bless our enemies so they don't have hatred toward us, and make peace on the earth. Keep our country strong, and keep the people and the children that love you safe. Be with us forever. We love you so much, Yahuwah, and we only pray to you in the name of your Son, Yehusha. Okay, this is Yehusha's Glory. I'll see y'all next time.